0 to 60 can define a performance car, but it's the fastest 60 to 0 that's the aim of Tarok's brakes. From road cars to race cars, circuits, special stages, or the autostrada, nothing reduces speed like Tarok's brakes. Italy gave the world the art of Da Vinci and Michelangelo. Tarok's has given drivers the art of stopping. For more information and to acquire your own masterpiece, visit tarox.co.uk. Yes, it's me, Mark Stone, and this is the Backseat Driver Podcast. It's the fastest, it's the friendliest, and it's for all the family. The Gas Shox 116 Trophy and 120 Coupe Cup are the fastest growing race series in the UK, taking in 6 one-hour races and 8 sprints at all the top circuits. Visit 116trophy.com to find out more and get yourself behind the wheel. From a pot of tea to TT Motorbikes. From a classic English breakfast to a full serving of classic cars. Bridge House Tea Rooms is the Northwest premier classic car meeting location for cars, bikes, tractors and owners clubs. So no matter what your automotive appetite might be, visit Bridge House Farm Tea Rooms on their Facebook page or call John and Alicia on 07980 444 221 for show details and to reserve your own table and parking space. Welcome to Vintage Montlhéry 100, this incredible French circuit based just outside Paris was built in record time 100 years ago in 1924. It was built in many ways to become the competitor to Brooklands. Brooklands, the famous bank track and the first purpose-built circuit, was the home of motorsport in many respects, but the French wanted their own. The French gave us Grand Prix racing, and it was city to city. The problem came in the number of fatalities that this type of racing provided. So they decided that a full circuit was in order, although they did go on to give us the famous circuits around actual towns, many of which are in a fantastic book that if you go online you will be able to find, and a lot of these circuits, the prime example of course is Monaco, which still remains, but every couple of years Montlhéry hosts its Vintage Revival, which produces an absolutely fantastic gathering of some of the most historic cars you will ever see. In fact, cars that you will probably not see anywhere else. And though it isn't a race meeting, it is a demonstration, I can assure you the cars when they get on the circuit and on the banking are giving it their all. And there have been some fantastic cars here, absolutely unbelievable. So it gave me the opportunity to interview some fantastic people and just have a chat about what it's like to drive cars that are as old as the circuit, on the circuit that many of them raced on in period. So for a lot of these vehicles it is a return to their home. So sit back and enjoy a chat with one or two people who were here who made Vintage Montlhéry exactly what it is and what it has become. Vintage Montlhéry 100, the 100th anniversary. And who do you bump into? The one, the only, Mr. Andy Larton. Andy, welcome back to the Backseat Driver. It's getting to the stage where you need my recording equipment, not me.
We're going to have to stop meeting like this, aren't we? People are going to be talking. What a weekend this is going to be.
Oh, I mean, it's staggering, is this? I mean, you've come to France to buy a pair of headlights for your Austin 7.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I've had a good look around the auto jumble and, found a pair of headlights, so that's one.
Now, this is your first visit here, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yeah, it won't be my last.
I was going to say, what's your opinion of it all?
Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it? Absolutely amazing. I was talking to a guy before who'd been on the track and he was a bit disappointed with the track time they got, but it's just the sun's out, all the cars. We stood here with a couple of Bugattis and a land speed record Citroen, and God knows what else is around us. It's just incredible.
I mean, there's cars here you've never seen before. I mean, it's, if you look back in motoring history or motor manufacturing history, the French churned them out fit to burn, didn't they?
They made everything, didn't they? They thought of everything. It's just I've just been looking around the bikes, and there's, like I say, there's stuff there you've never even heard of and never seen before, and probably never see again.
They did a lot of exposed belt and exposed drive, didn't they?
Yeah, it was the thing to do then, wasn't it? There was health and safety wasn't an issue.
As you watch your right leg disappear down road.
Well, friction burn on from a belt won't do you too. It'll heal, won't it?
Now, you're more bikes than cars, aren't you?
I'll take either, to be honest with you. I love anything old, and like this Bugatti behind us, it's a real oily rag thing, and it's a bit of me, that. I love stuff like that.
I mean, you look at the Bugattis here and you suddenly realise they made a lot more of them than you maybe thought they did.
Yeah, and we were at Goodwood the other week, and there was a race there that had a few in. I think there were 18 in the one race, all Type 35s and 45s. They're just, you don't realise how many they made, do you?
And the other thing is, the ones you tend to see in museums are all beautiful and shiny and everything else. A lot of the ones here, an oily rag restoration would be quite extensive for them, wouldn't it? I mean, the Bugatti we stood next to, it's held together, well, the bonnet's held down with bungees.
You're right, wasn't it? It's doing the job. You don't want to be wasting time cleaning it when you could be driving it, do you?
But I mean, this place is so atmospheric, isn't it?
It's amazing, isn't it? People dressed up, and it really is fantastic. I'm loving it.
I was just going to say, there's lots of people wearing their old clothes, which makes us feel at home.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. So can't wait to see everything.
Is there anything specific you want to see while you're here?
I'm looking for that Napier Railton that Dougal's supposed to be driving, chatting to him on the boat coming over, and looking forward to seeing that.
I mean, do we know where it is? Because something to press, nobody can find it.
Well, knowing Dougal, it's probably gone over the top of the banking. He was convinced he was going to get it well up there, so who knows? I'll have to go and have a look. So I've only been around the bikes for now, so I haven't gone much further than that.
Well, I know you possess quite an interesting and eclectic selection of vehicles. Is there anything you'd like to bring here and take out there?
I'd love to bring the little Austin when it's done, but I think it'll be a little bit too new. But never know. I might come back with a bike.
So have you ever been on a bank circuit?
No, not yet.
They're definitely different to bank circuits.
Well, it's never too late to have a go, is it? There's always time to try.
You do get a good view of things up there.
I bet you do, I bet you do. I was just watching some of the bikes earlier. They weren't going very high up it. Whether they've been told not to or not, I don't know. But
well, I know one of the things here, because this is a demonstration, they aren't actually racing, there is a speed limit set. And the big thing about the bank circuits is not every car and every bike can get up there because they're not powerful enough to get this up.
No, it's about 50 degree, I think, at the top, isn't it?
So. I mean, I've walked up Monza and I've walked part way up this, and you can't. A human being cannot walk up it. Makes you wonder how they built the damn thing.
That's amazing, isn't it? That really is incredible. Yeah.
So, you're here for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah.
Andy Larton, thanks for joining me yet again. As I said, I'm beginning to think I'm going to hand over the race to the Backstreet Driver podcast.
Anytime. It's always a pleasure, Mark.
Cheers, Andy Larton. Thanks very much.
Take care, mate.
Here, celebrating 100 years of Montlhéry, and I'm here with...
Francois, Vintage Stratten Ponthoz.
And you're driving...
The 1913 Theophile Schneider.
And you've just come back in from a good few laps of the famous bank circuit. What's it like out there?
It's good. I mean, I would just wish we had more bank circuit bits so we can get a bit more speed in. Obviously today's a very hot day, so I had to be a bit cautious how we were treating it. The car was getting a bit hot, so just had to be a bit attentive. But as an experience, you can't beat being in a field of these cars roaring, passing each other, just making a ruckus. That is brilliant. It's brilliant.
And does it bring back, or does it evoke what it was like to actually, when the guys were actually racing these here?
There is that one moment where there's a sort of long wide chicane, I don't know the name of it, but long wide chicane, and then you first get up on the banking, and then you give it the beans, and all of a sudden everybody's kind of charging up, and that charge, there you feel it. There you feel it.
And have you raced here before? Oh, I know we're not racing today, we're demonstrating.
Yeah, no, demonstrating today, and first time. So it's been an incredible experience, truly.
Is the car yours, if you don't mind me asking?
Yes, it's mine. I bought it a year ago, and I was actually doing a bit of math yesterday. I've done about 3,000 kilometers this year in the car, going back and forth. So I've gone basically from the Oxfordshire Cotswolds area to Belgium, back to Goodwood, back to Belgium. There the car went up to Germany actually for a quick mag rebuild. Up there, drove it back down and back over to Goodwood, and now I've driven it here. So yeah, a few miles.
Well, this is a little bit better than public road for it. Or do you find public roads entertaining for it?
Actually, I do love public roads in the car. I think when you have a big, long sweeper and you can really,
do what you're not meant to do.
Yeah, well, I don't have a speedometer in this car. I have a rev counter, and the cable, now for the third time in the row, is broken. So, I cannot possibly know what speed I am, apart from roughly what gear I'm in, and, am I high or low in the revs?
Yeah.
And, just from that, well, it'd be tough to argue that I can break a speed limit if I don't know what the speed limit is or what speed I'm doing. I'm sure I have not broken a single one, so that's very good.
So what sort of reaction do you get with the car when you're out on the road?
I think the sort of reaction a fresh Lamborghini owner hopes to get.
Well, the difference is this and your good self have taste. Something the modern Lamborghini driver is still seeking.
I think, and I think you get a lot of credit from that. And it's just brilliant from that standpoint because you really get only positive responses. When people see the car, they're just happy to see that you exist and you're on the road. So many times people see these cars static in museums or just pictures of them not doing anything, and they can't really get a feeling for it. And now when I'm passing them on the highway, and as I pass them, I see an iPhone just plastered to the window, and you go, right, we're having a good time. This is fun. No, they're brilliant. You'd be surprised how drivable it is, and I say this with 8 asterisks because you can drive them on the road. I have. We've driven them here from Britain. Today, honestly, I wish I had more banked circuit to play around with so I could give it a bit more speed. If anything, for this car, because it's not really built for low speed. It's an aircraft engine in here, so it's a whole Scott 10-liter 4-cylinder. And here, it's only asking to be revved up and to sit at that 80%, 85% rev, portion. I can only ask for a bit more speed, honestly.
Francois, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Long may you enjoy driving this car on bank circuits and especially the public road, sir.
Thank you very much. I very much look forward to doing a bit more of that.
Right, I'm here with a man who is well known within old car circles because he's the man that owns Longstone Tyres. Many of you will have purchased your tyres from him. Dougal Cawley, welcome back to the Backseat Driver.
Good to see you again. And by the way, my telephone number is 01302 71123.
Never one to let an opportunity slip, as the saying goes. Now, besides being down here at Montlhéry with your family fleet, you've just come back in from, well, it's demonstrating the famous Napier Railton that resides at Brooklands. How did this feat come about?
I'm a lucky boy. I was in the right place at the right time. And so the fantastic Vincent who organises it plied the guy from Brooklands Museum with several bottles of champagne before I rolled up at a Retrobile. And the plan was that if Longstone Tyres got the car here, I was allowed to have a drive in it. So that's the way it's all worked out.
Were they aware of what they were letting the car in for?
Well, I think Alan, who runs these things, he knows full well about Piglet, and for some reason he still let me do it. So it's been fantastic.
What is the Napier Railton exactly?
Absolutely mental. It's a whopping big 27-litre Napier Lion engine, which has got 12 cylinders in a W formation with 4 valves per cylinder, double overhead cam for all the banks of cylinders.
So basically, they beat Volkswagen to it a long while ago, this W malarkey.
Some considerable time ago, and this car drove round one of those salt flats at 150 miles an hour on average for 24 hours in 1936. That's astounding, isn't it? I mean, that includes wheel changes and driver changes and petrol filling up and all that stuff. Just unbelievable. It just goes. You drive, it's quite difficult because you never really rev it, so you never really feel like it's accelerating hard, but blimey, it is. And you pop it in second gear and give it a bit of beans from 1,000 revs up to 1,800, and the thing just takes off. And I was coming around the banking there, and I got onto the banking. I thought, I'll have a bit of a go and see if we can get up to the top circuit. So I planted my foot, and I think I didn't quite realise how much faster than all these other cars were. So as I was about to drop down to the chicane, I was going really, really fast. And I was catching up, and I thought, no, I'm just not going to go in that chicane because it's already full of other cars. So I'll stay up here on the banking and keep going. But, whoa, it was epic. It was epic.
Does this rate as the ultimate Dougal drive? Because, I mean, you drive all sorts. I mean, one of the things you do, you are well known for touring Europe, especially France, in your Delage.
Well, I think, actually driving around in a vintage car is just so much fun. I've done quite a few miles in that car since I bought it, and it's just an utter joy. And they're cheap as chips at the moment as well, these vintage cars. Yeah. The big ones, big Taurus like that, people seem to, I don't know, maybe they've forgotten how to change gear or, forgotten the joy of the sound of an old engine or something like that, but it was just a lovely thing to poodle around in, and I just drive it all the time. I drive vintage cars all the time. It's just more fun. I guess I don't do a 50-mile commute, really, so that side of it works, but...
Well, one of the newest cars I know you own is a Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow with, shall we say, an interesting past, but you just don't do new cars, do you?
They're boring, aren't they, really?
Yes.
They're boring, so... And I don't need to, because I don't live far away from work, so I'm just happy driving some daft and old.
What's next for Dougal, Cawley and Longstone Tyres?
Got to get home, haven't I? So I'm in Piglet on the way back, and my eldest son's driven that Model A Ford down here with his fiancée, and then with these 2 motorbikes as well, and my cousin's down in a vintage car as well, so we've got to get back home. That's our major venture.
So you're not being allowed to drive the Napier back home?
I think that will be tricky. I don't think there's enough petrol stations.
Dougal, Cawley, it's an absolute pleasure and a joy. You were on the old radio show a while ago, but it's a pleasure to see you again.
Thank you very much. Good to see you. Cheers.
I'm here with Bert Cawley. It's a continuation of the Dougal interview in many ways, here at Montlhéry. Bert, what are you driving here today?
I am driving the Piglet Special GM Fraser Nash.
And to start with, are you envious of your dad Dougal driving the Napier Railton?
I think it'd be absolutely terrifying for me, but if I were to be able to give it a go, I think I'd die of happiness. It's a very cool car. It shrank me dad. That's the first thing I've ever seen outsize him.
Now, the Cawley family are renowned for their love of vintage cars, unusual cars and anything else. Where does all this come from?
I think it was Grandad who started it. He had an interest, and then it just went from there. So, I'm a bit more new to it than the rest of the family. Wilfred, my younger brother, he's been doing it for ages, and he's fettling old cars down in the Cotswolds now. But everyone seems to have an interest. Even when I was, just sat at the pad at bit bored playing on my DS, I still wanted to look at all the cars and have a bit of fun and listen to the noise and have a go in them. So now the opportunity to be able to take it for a ride at Montlhéry is just a very cool thing.
I mean, it is one of the legendary circuits, and regrettably, unlike Brooklands that was torn to pieces, Montlhéry's been retained. It is as it was.
It's an absolutely beautiful circuit. I've been doing some research on it because I'm making a documentary for it myself, and the amount of history to it and everything I've looked into. The first award given to a woman for a RAC race was given here when she ran a team. There's so much history here that you wouldn't be able to find anywhere else. The countless motorbike records that happened here as well is stunning.
Well, I'm going to say the one thing it's known for is the number of records that it was used for. 24-hour, 48-hour, and it's like your dad said, some of these cars, right, apart from stopping for a driver change and to refuel them, never stopped. And I don't know whether a modern car would be able to do this.
Nah, its sensor would go out and you'd have to get a laptop to it, I believe. But it's just these cars. It just takes some spare parts and a bit of gusto and gumption, and you're good to go. I drove the Model A Ford down here from Doncaster, and I daily it every day, and I feel more secure knowing that I won't have to send that to Priory, and I can just sit underneath it and get covered in petrol and oil and hope for the best instead of it being a laptop or some of the jargon that I don't understand at all.
And you won't be suffering from electrical vehicle range anxiety either, will you?
No, not at all. The only range anxiety I've got is stop to fuel up every couple hours and weep that the Model A's American, so it guzzles it like no tomorrow.
So, when are you out on the circuit?
I believe around 5, if I'm correct. Is it 5, Dad?
Something like that,
Yeah, something like that, yeah, 5. So, which is perfect. I think, the sun might wane down a bit. I can go for a razz out, and then afterwards it'll be straight to pop over, get a couple pressions down me, and just relax for a bit and get the shakes out of me after all of the anxiety of being on the track up a wall.
Are you taking any advice off your dad?
Yeah, I've taken a bit of it. Take it sensible. Just treat it like it's a joyous thing. Don't expect to be winning anything because there's nothing to win. The way to impress yourself and anyone else is simply to have a joy of it and pop them a wave when you finish.
And knowing your dad, it'll be a case of don't go faster than me.
Absolutely. I don't want to outdo him yet. I've still got time to practice for that. He'll have the race anxiety later on.
Bert Cawley, like chatting with your dad. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much.
I'm here at Vintage Montlhéry with Francois Blood Sausage, also known as Francois Boudin. Francois, welcome to the Backseat Driver.
Thank you very much, and I'm very happy to meet you in the real life.
Now, you're not racing or driving here today.
Not today because I forget to inscribe my car, and it wasn't possible to go on the road. But maybe to be here, it's nice. That's enough for me.
One thing you are known for is you rally a Vauxhall VX490 in the Tour Auto and things like that. Why the Vauxhall?
Vauxhall is a nice car, a nice English car, in fact, and I decided to go to the Tour Auto since 3 years now, and we finished 9 this year, and that's not so bad with this kind of car, and we are not professional pilots. We are just here for the fun in the Tour Auto. To finish the Tour Auto is that's enough for me. That's nice.
I mean, it's an event I drove in 4 times, and I was fortunate to finish 4 times. But do you see many Vauxhalls in France?
No, I'm the only Vauxhall on the Tour Auto, and Patrick Peter say we have too much Porsche, and they look for strange cars, and Vauxhall for French is a strange car, exotic car.
The VX490 was the performance model.
In fact, this is the sports model from the Victor. This is the Victor was a car for the sales rep in England, and the VX is more punchy. It's a sports car, but not really a sports car today because that's an old car now. But the engine is new.
But it was very comfortable to drive.
Oh yes, that's a very, very comfortable car. Yes, and because we had 2,000 kilometers in 5 days, and that's very difficult sometimes. And with each day you have 2 special and 1 circuit. Yes, and it could be difficult at the end of the week.
Now, the other thing you are known for is Y-Car, isn't it? The old cars.
Why?
Y-Car, like the Model Ts and things like that.
Oh, the Model T is another story, in fact, because my friend Thierry Dubois, the illustrator, decided to buy a Model T, and he say, well, in the east of France, I can find an old car for you. So we decide to build Speedster. And we go everywhere in France with this Model T. We go from Paris to the Riviera with 10 Model T. It was a nice experience.
The French seem to love unusual old cars or doing unusual things with them. But what is it about the French that like this?
Normal cars are boring, no?
Yes.
Electric cars are boring. It's nice to can be in another kind of car, like an experience, in fact. Yeah. But I have two other kind of cars, but Model T and Vauxhalls are very, very my best cars for me. Sorry for my very bad English.
Don't worry about it. So what are you doing for the rest of the year?
I'm going to Corsica with the Vauxhall for the rally, and we decided to go with the Model T in September in Mont Saint-Michel in France for 2 days, and we go across the Mont Saint-Michel with Model T with about 50 cars, only Model T. It could be nice.
But you're regrettably only here for 1 day, aren't you?
Yeah, only today. I can come tomorrow because I'm busy with family and other things.
Francois Blood Sausage or Francois Boudin. At last we meet, and it has been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.
Here at Montlhéry Historic with Tony Baxter from the Brooklands Museum motorcycle team. Tony, welcome to the Backseat Driver.
Well, thank you very much for coming and talking to us.
It's quite a sizable display you've got here from Brooklands. How many bikes have you got?
We brought, I think, 7, and we've picked up a few extras because there are other guests of the event that like to join in with the Brooklands display. So we've got this lovely chap from Germany, Günther, with his Rex Acme. So he's joined us. We were hoping to have some more bikes over here, but for various reasons we didn't get quite as many as we hoped. But yeah, it's a pretty reasonable display.
And they are all in action, aren't they?
Yes, they are. I mean, the ethos of the motorcycle team is that we don't just sort of have these bikes that we polish and show to people. We want them to be working as their makers intended. Obviously, none of them are raced, but yeah, we take them out onto the circuit and we run them. And virtually every bike in the museum is actually a runner.
Out of all of them, I mean, what have you got? What did you bring with you?
I think the thing probably of most note, I mean, there are several here that are quite rare, and I'm not an expert on those. The owners will tell you more. But the most notable bike we have is the 1937 M23 Empire Star. It's a BSA, and it's a replica, a very faithful replica of the bike that Wal Handley, a very famous TT and Brooklands rider, got his gold star on for lapping Brooklands at over 100 miles an hour. If you've lapped over 100, you've got a gold star. So BSA seized upon the marketing opportunity, and they created the Gold Star motorcycle, which continued on into the 1960s.
So that's where the Gold Star comes from, the Gold Star models and everything else. It's doing over 100 at Brooklands.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. And BSA were very clever because they created what became known as a clubman machine that was very successful, not just sort of road racing, but also in scrambles and other such things, and of course for on the road as well. And in fact, several of the guys here today have got gold stars back at home. So, yeah.
Now, the one thing I noticed, there seems to be a lot of spannering going on with the bikes. Do they take a lot of maintenance?
Yes, they do. They're old vehicles. Some of them here are nearly 100 years old. In fact, the new Imperial over there, that is over 100 years old. And things break, things that you don't expect to happen. We've got the Rudge that they're working on at the moment. I took it out for a run yesterday morning because the owner was still trying to get into the track because it was so busy, and I noticed that one of the gears was snatching, the top gear. The owner took it out for the second session and it threw the chain and locked the wheel up. Luckily, it didn't fall off, but there is a problem in the gearbox, whether there's movement, whether it needs reshimming, whether something is broken. So they're trying to fix it at the moment, but not too hopeful, unfortunately. But it's the nature of the beast. The guy who owns the new Imperial is also here in a Straker Squire, an Edwardian race car. And he said that we're not going to see him for most of the day because he's underneath that fixing the gearbox. And he drove that here from England. Some people, not so much the motorcyclists, but some of the guys with the cars, they drive them here.
I want to say, I noticed there's an enormous amount of cars, like more or less 100 years old, that have driven here. Some, like the Beast of Turin, gets driven here.
Yeah, exactly. And funnily enough, yesterday morning, as everyone was trying to get into the circuit, it was absolutely packed down the bottom of the hill. Huge queues, all the French beeping, people driving on the pavements. The Beast of Turin and the other Edwardian cars pushed through the crowd and had to go the wrong way partly round the roundabout. And we had flames coming out of the Beast going down the side of her van. We had to close the windows, so we didn't get scorched. It's and it's an incredible thing, and you don't see it. It's not a day-to-day occurrence. So it's
the Brooklands Museum's bikes. Besides coming here, given the fact that there's not a lot of the Brooklands track left, do they display anywhere else besides at Brooklands?
Yes, we do. We used to display quite regularly at Brands Hatch during the race meetings, the BEMC race meetings, on a lunchtime. We haven't done that for a couple of years, but I'm hoping that we can get back to doing that. We've also been to Mallory Park for various events. Some of the guys even went to Jersey about 10 years ago for a motorcycle event. But we also come to France quite a bit. We've got Grand Prix Puy Notre Dame in July, and some of the guys are going to another event in June, again over here, because they have these wonderful events around the streets, which we don't have so much of in England. But
so regrettably you've got to come to France to recreate the good old days with Montlhéry's bank circuits and the street circuits.
Definitely so, yeah. As I say, the street circuits, there are quite a few events in France around the streets, and of course Montlhéry is the only place where you're going to get on the banking, which is quite exciting, and you do have to be a little bit careful because it's very steep, and to be on the banking, at the top of the banking safely, you have to be going very fast.
I was talking to somebody earlier today and they were saying unless you're doing about 110 or thereabouts, you can't get to the top. Your back wheels on a car will start to slide down, and I conclude it's the same on a motorbike.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I mean, people have tried to ride to the top and sort of try and keep upright rather than sort of going with the angle, and that can end very badly, because if you do that, your left-hand footrest can catch the banking. So it's just not advisable, but it is exciting. Sorry, they're just starting the rudge up.
But no, thanks for chatting to me, Tony Baxter from the Brooklands Museum motorcycle team. It's been a pleasure chatting with you.
And to you too. Thank you very much, and I hope your listeners enjoyed the conversation.
That's great. Thanks very much indeed. Here at Vintage Montlhéry 100 with Lawrence Klein from prewarcar.com. Lawrence, welcome to the Backseat Driver.
Oh, thank you.
What exactly is Pre-War Car and what brings you to Montlhéry?
Well, Pre-War Car is a website which is all about classic cars. Well, actually pre-war cars. So we have an online magazine where we have stories about old cars. We have an online marketplace where you can buy and sell old cars, but also bikes and parts. And we're just enthusiastic ourselves. And for Montlhéry, we are partner of Montlhéry, and that's mostly because we like old cars. It's like paradise here. It's just, you are in a different world. As soon as you come to the banks, the old circuit, it's just a fantastic place.
Now, I noticed you have some very interesting cars on display on the stand. What exactly are they?
Well, we have a 1907 Itala, which is an impressive car. It's 7.5 liter. It did peak into Paris twice, and we actually use it to go to our hotel, to go to the supermarket, just to drive around and have fun. And I think there are so many cars here. If you have a standard, which is not standard, 35 Bugatti, you are just one of many. And if you have something really interesting, like an old French unknown make, then you have something special and you belong to Montlhéry.
What are the cars that interest you the most for your own point of view? What do you own?
Well, from my business perspective, I see many cars, and if I'm here, I just like the early cars with the aero engines. There's just so much noise, flames, fuel fumes, I think you call it. It's just great. It's just fantastic. And at Montlhéry you see them, and you see, well we are talking here, you see a Bentley passing you, you see a Lea Francis, you see an Car C6, which you don't see that often, and that's just the last 20 seconds, so yeah, this is wonderful.
I mean, Montlhéry is a phenomenal place, the history is fantastic and 100 years old. What does Montlhéry mean to you?
Well, I've been here a few times now so far, and I think because of now the whole revival thing, it comes to life. The bankings are terrible, the circuit is terrible, but just the feeling that gives Montlhéry that is a reason to come here, and I just like Montlhéry. Yeah.
And I notice on the table next to us there are a lot of awards. Who are these being presented to?
Well, with prewarcar.com we help the organization with promotion, but also we give awards to participants. So we choose the best car of the show, the best bike of the show, and the best club. Because you have the cars and your bikes, but you also have the clubs who try to present themselves, and they do their best to make a nice demo with cars of their make, or their not just the make, but also their period or era, or how you call it. And we give the awards away in the half on the Sunday.
Now, who's won what? Do you know who's won yet?
No, don't ask me that. We've been talking about that the whole evening yesterday, and we still don't know. I have to walk another lap around, and then every time I see new cars, and I think, oh, that would be a good winner. Oh, maybe that's even better. And you see here a De La Haye that won, I think, it drove here in 1920 something or 1930 something. But also the aero engine cars, an Alfa RL won a few years ago, and it's still here. And it's difficult, but hopefully in an hour or so we know the winner.
Have you had the chance to drive around the circuit yourself?
As a passenger, I've been here twice this weekend. One time with the De La Haye I just mentioned, and the other time with Theophile Snyder with the aero engine car, and it's just fantastic. I can't describe it. It's just wonderful. And you see some people are driving like madmen. It's just unbelievable. You think an old car, it's slow, it's boring, but it's definitely not. It's a real adventure.
If somebody wants to follow your website, what is the address?
Go to www.prewarcar.com or follow us on Instagram or Facebook, or subscribe to our newsletter. Once a week we send out the best stories and my favorite cars of the week.
Lawrence Klein, thank you very much for joining me on the Backseat Driver, and enjoy the rest of Vintage Revival Montlhéry 100.
I will, thank you for being here.
Right, here we are. I finally found Graham Hardy. The trouble is, when you're looking for Graham Hardy, you never know who the bloody hell you're looking for, do you? Graham, Tazio Nuvolari, Stan Laurel, George Formby, welcome to the Backseat Driver once again.
Oh, buongiorno. Yeah, hi Mark. Yeah, great to see you, Mark. And wow, what can you say? Today, we're doing a bit of Tazio at this fantastic event, and I was really not expecting to bump into you, but I'm really pleased I have. Yeah.
Are you here officially? Were you invited to attend?
Oh, how it works. It's my fourth time I've been here, Mark, and the first time I came, I just came to spectate, and then I spoke to the organisers, Freddie Frott, and the likes of the committee, and I did a Tazio, just to walk around Tazio Nuvolari, and then they said, yeah, bring a bike, you have to enter, obviously, and I entered with an AJS big 350 Big Port, and then I've been ever since with that particular bike. It was a fantastic event, and I'm here purely for the love of the event, really. It's fantastic.
I mean, in many ways, besides your appreciation of old folk, No insult intended. I mean, the atmosphere at this place and the circuit is incredible, isn't it? I mean, it's the 100th anniversary.
Yeah, 100th anniversary. What a fantastic turnout. The weather's absolutely stunning, and it seems to. As I say, I've been 4th time here, and a massive crowd. It's really good. It's good to see so many younger people as well participating. And it's fantastic, really.
That's the one thing you notice over in France. The young people, the youngsters, the kids, are absolutely fascinated with it all. They seem to be more so than any other part of the world.
Yeah, they certainly do. You speak to people, members of car clubs and what have you. I'm a member of the Model T Ford Club myself in UK. We've got some good young members coming through, but you can always do with some more. It's important, the youngsters have got to sort of take it forward. They're the future of this kind of event, and I hope things start to pick up a bit.
Brooklands, there's hardly any of Brooklands left really, but it's a shame Brooklands can't put something on like this and attract the crowds, isn't it?
Yeah, it would. I'm sure it would work really well at Brooklands. As you say, there's not a lot of it left, but the setup they've got, the hill climb and the buildings around there, you could have a really nice event.
I get the feeling though they might struggle with you look at the numbers of people here. There's thousands. I don't know whether they'd be able to cope with it really.
No, that might be an issue, Mark, for sure. How many people you could actually get in, but it'd be nice to see, wouldn't it? Give it a go.
And in England, OK, we have the circuits, but England doesn't seem to have preserved its old circuits as well as the French have done.
No. This place is amazing. I've been around today on a motorbike, and I've got three more, laps, or not laps, goes, should we say. I must say, it's an amazing condition, really. It's a bit bumpy, but what do you expect?
I was going to say the banking's always been known for being bumpy, but how far up the banking do you get? Because it's determined by how powerful the machine is you're either driving or riding.
Yeah, that is the you bang on there, Mark. Yeah, halfway up, really. I don't want to push my luck. It's just big port. It'll nip on a bit, 70-80 mile an hour if you really start ringing it a bit. But just want to keep it safe, and halfway now and again, and just throw it into the chicanes. It's nice, fun, and good, lovely to go.
You are a bike fan. There's some unbelievable bikes here. There's bikes you've never heard of or seen.
Oh, you said it. Every time I come, you're thinking, wow, is that some kind of creation that somebody's? But no, there's so many different makes. You think it's Triumphs and this, but as you say, so many different names here I've never come across in the UK before.
Has it given you the urge to buy another motorbike?
Well, with the I don't know. Sometimes you think about it with a big port and the Shuttleworth snap I use for the No Limit tribute. I've got my work cut out with them, and a Model T Ford and one thing and another. So I might do one day, Mark, but I think at the minute I'm going to stick with what I've got. Yeah.
Graham Hardy, Tazio Nuvolari, thanks for joining me on the Backseat Driver, and enjoy walking round with your garlands, bottle of Verf Clico and everything else.
Yeah, I certainly will, Mark, and as I said earlier, it's great to see you here, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of the weekend, and hope to see you about. Thanks for the interview.
Once again, Graham, thanks very much indeed.
Thank you, Mark. Have a great day. Cheers.
I'm here at Montlhéry with Mickey Hudson, who drove his Samson all the way from England down here and then proceeded to drive it around the circuits. Mickey, welcome to the Backseat Driver.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
How old is the car?
1927.
And what's the engine under the bonnet?
It's a twin overhead cam 1100cc 4-cylinder engine. As original.
I'm going to say the car. This looks like a car that I like. They're kept going, but they're not overly polished and sat in a showroom somewhere. What's it like to drive such distance in a car like this?
I've been in training. I've done lots of yoga, and I've been sitting in the sauna, making sure my bones are all in good fettle. But it's been. I thought it was going to be awful, and actually, it was really quite nice. But we've come on little roads in France and stopped at every other cafe and had coffee and beer and stuff, and it's been brilliant. And obviously we're driving towards the sunshine on the way here, so it definitely helps. So it's been an ace journey. Not so much looking forward to the way back. But
well, you're probably like me. I never like going back.
No, well, the fun's over, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's maybe we'll be a little bit broken, but it'll be all right. It'll be good.
How long have you been into cars like this? Because I know your cousin is Longstone tyres, which means I get the feeling it's in the Cawley blood somewhere.
Well, yes, it certainly is. So Dougal's mum is my dad's sister. So, but yeah, my dad was always into cars. He's always raced all sorts of things. He had Aston Martins and Bugattis and all sorts of things, and so he's just stopped racing. And I'm not quite there at the point that I'm going to stop, but you know, I don't push it. For me, it's driving them on the road and getting. I don't need to be racing all the time, but coming to events like this is just brilliant.
What is it about this car?
Well, obviously being a French car, it's always very nice to drive it in France, because this car actually came to the UK when it was brand new. But there is something very nice about driving on French roads, so we just do it as often as we can. But this is the first time I've driven all the way here.
Do the French recognise it as one of their own?
Oh, very much. Yeah, they're yes, it's always welcome back here, and there's a good gang of people in France with Samsons and a good movement, and you know they have a good club here. And no, it's always good to bring it back here. It's great.
Besides this, is there anything else lurking within the household?
Well, like I say, we have got a 35B Bugatti, which my dad and I have raced for the last 15 years. But you know, that's potentially not going to be with us for forever now that my dad's stopped racing. So we'll see. And then we've got I think over a dozen Austin 7s. So each sort, style and shape. And then I've got a 1950s 2CV, which lives over in Norfolk, and that gets driven on the beach, along the beach road there, and it'll end its days there probably, but that's a great thing.
And what's it like driving around the circuit here at Montlhéry?
Well, it's like nothing else in the world, because there is no other place you can, the Brooklands banking is so rough and bumpy, and it's not really intact. You can't really get an idea of what it was like, but here it's completely as it was, and it's a totally bizarre experience. Unless you're doing 100 miles an hour, you slip down it's really steep, you slip down the banking. You can't stay at the top unless you're doing 100 miles an hour.
How far up have you got?
Well, in the Bugatti, we used to go all the way to the top and stay at the top. It was fantastic. But the Samson, which will probably get up to nearly 90 miles an hour, so you're slipping. You can drive all the way to the top, but you slip down pretty quickly. Yeah. So, but it doesn't matter. It's great fun. It's just the best event in the world as far as I'm concerned. It's absolutely brilliant. They've done a cracking job. So.
And will you be back?
Well, there's always a rumour that it's the last one ever, and it happens every year. But I've heard that rumour a bit too much this time, and I just hope they've made a load of money this time, and they had a good gate, and the weather's been good, and they got a few people through the gate. So fingers crossed they've made a bit of money, and they'll be back. But we'll certainly be back if they'll have us. It's been brilliant.
Mickey Hudson, it's been a pleasure chatting to you. Thanks very much.
Well, thank you very much.
I'm here at Vintage Montlhéry with the one, the only, the French diva herself, Marie-Catherine Liddy.
Hello, Mark.
Who very kindly once again accompanied me to a major motorsport event here in France. But it's your first time. I actually beat you here. I've been before. This is your first experience.
Yes, indeed, it's my first experience, and I'm very surprised how many cars, how many classic and old cars we can see there, with a lot of greens and very interesting, and a lot of people very passionate by that.
And what do you think of the circuit? Because, I mean, ironically enough, when you grew up, you didn't grow up far away from here. And you used to say, you said to me already, I used to see the water tower, I used to see the banking, but you never came in. What do you think of Montlhéry now you've been inside it?
I have found a lot of pictures of my parents when they were very young, about 50s and 60s. They used to come for weekends at Montlhéry, and I always know this circuit like something very iconic, very historic, and I'm very happy to see this track and by myself, and especially to take pictures of all these cars in this track. Very, very beautiful, very very sports, very difficult too. And we are always thinking about the great champions and the great records making there.
And it will be, from a French woman's point of view, nice to see so many of the famous French cars, especially the big record breakers like the Renaults and cars like that.
I'm not a common French woman. I'm different, but of course I like, because it's my passion to see such beautiful cars, and especially we are happy to see them driven, sorry. Irregular verbs, English, driven by people, and sometimes by very young people, and it's always something very pleasant to see how the history of motorsport is alive in our society, and I'm happy to see that in France we can do that, we do that, but I have to say that there are a lot of English people too.
Yes, without us Brits this wouldn't be happening, but I suppose it will give you pride that this is the only remaining banked circuit that is active, that people actually can go and drive on them, because such as Brooklands and Monza, there's hardly anything left of Brooklands, and it can't be driven on. Monza, you can't drive on the banking anymore, but here at Montlhéry you can still drive on it.
Yes, because maybe it's a general politic in France to keep alive, I don't know if I can say that, but to keep our historic monuments, and a circuit could be. And the speaker of the circuit spoke this morning about Brooklands, and he explained how Brooklands will be has been a little destroyed, and we didn't do that with Montlhéry, but we know that a lot of circuits in France disappeared for a long time. We have had a lot of circuits everywhere. Every town in France had its circuit. But now we have Le Mans, we have Paul Ricard, we have Montlhéry, and we are very happy to see beautiful events like that.
Marie-Catherine Ligny, once again, it is a pleasure to welcome you to the Backseat Driver.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark.
Now, the noise, the heat, the dust, the engine notes, the exhaust notes have faded away. Vintage Revival Montlhéry 2024, the 100th anniversary, has finally come to a close, which means I can now have a chat with the one, the only, Mr. Montlhéry Pit Lane himself, Jean-Frédéric Fro, better known as Freddie Frott, the man with the bowler hat, who has spent the entirety of it keeping the pit lane in order, which has probably taken some doing. Freddie, welcome back to the Backseat Driver.
Hello, Mark.
From my point of view, from an outsider looking in, since I'm now media, I don't climb behind the steering wheel anymore. It's looked to be a fantastic event with cars and motorbikes you only see in books, and there they were, driving round, riding round, revving up, the public looking round them, a very appreciative public, because nearly everybody there has one main interest, and it's a passion for cars. But how did this year's event go?
Remarkably well, to be honest. It was we had more visitors than we ever had. For the first time ever, the grandstand, which is opposite the pits, was actually full. And we had squeezed as many cars as we could into the rolling sessions. And it all went swimmingly until Sunday 3:30.
Yes, there was, shall we say, the sun decided it had enough after it had fried us all, and the lightning made an appearance.
Yeah, that's correct. We were suddenly, just as we were changing over from one class to another, there was this almighty bang. The PA system died off, and we learned that the paddock had been hit by a lightning bolt.
Because it also decided it'd move along and it'd take the electrics out of a modern van and melt the windscreen supports on the Bedelia.
That's correct. So the ambulances were busy. There were no casualties. We had some people who were slightly hurt, but they all went home the next day and were safe. But of course, we couldn't carry on with the meeting because you need ambulances free at all time. So it started ever so slightly early, a couple of hours that we lost.
How many cars were there? Because, I mean, to walk round and count them was an impossibility.
Well, it's 280 cars go on the tracks sessions. Plus, we've got what we call the pre-19, which mixes very old bikes and very, very old cars. The car which is propelled by a propeller, the Leia Helica, was in that session. There's 100 cars there and bikes. And then we have the exhibitors, the people who come only with their car by road and exhibit the cars in the paddock. That's another 200 cars this year. And then we had about 500 bikes of the same, with exhibitors and people on the track.
Now, one car that was noticeable for making an appearance, and it has a great history with Montlhéry, and you were instrumental in it being there, was the out of the Brooklands collection, which is the Napier Railton that was driven by Mr. Longstone Tyres himself, Dougal Cawley. How did you get involved, and how did this incredible record-breaking car make its return to Montlhéry?
Well, we've had a very long and very useful cooperation between Brooklands and Montlhéry for some obvious reason. They were both bank circuits. And the people from the Brooklands Museum, who own the Napier Railton of John Cobb, were very keen to bring it back, because the car has actually broken some records at Montlhéry in 1933 and 1934. They even had an accident there as well, the first time. But this is a car that actually covered and beat the record of 3,000 kilometres, that's about 2,000 miles, in 19 hours. I mean, it's a remarkable machine. And so it was very important to us that it would celebrate the 100th year. And Alan Wynne, one of the trustees, mentioned in a conversation that he was prepared to have the car driven by a sponsor if they would be able to actually pay for the transport and all the customs paperwork and all those things. And it just happened that as I was fetching a glass of champagne for the Alan, I bumped into Dougal Cawley, who was asking us, can I offer you some more help in the sponsorship? And the deal was done just like that.
So, because, I mean, it must have come as a great surprise to him to be told, right, you're going to drive this.
Well, it's the experience of a lifetime, isn't it? I mean, there's very, very few machines that you would be offered a drive in with so much aura and so much history carrying it. So Dougal didn't even think twice. You know, he said, "Well, that's it. I sign here. You know, give me the pen."
Now, the one thing about the cars that appear at this event is they all have a link to Montlhéry. They've nearly all raced there, or they've driven round it, or they've all done something there. And you were saying when the cars are selected and invited, they have to have this link.
Yes, the whole idea behind the centenary for us was to try to find as many cars which had actually raced at Montlhéry between the two world wars. And it didn't matter in which class or whatever, and we didn't always find the car because some of them had disappeared, of course. But we managed to find the right model of the car, which could be little cycle cars, motorcycles, because Montlhéry was so active in between the two wars. There were races almost every weekend there, and the top marks were coming. The 1936 or 37 event had a Mercedes and Auto Union, which became Audi, with Tadzio Nuvolari and Canacciola, all these very famous drivers of the time at the circuit. So we had a duty to actually try to reproduce that as closely as we could.
Now, the other thing you notice is, back then, racing cars weren't as a lot of people think they are. At one point in time, somebody would buy themselves a nice Alfa Romeo or a Bugatti, but they buy it as a road car. But by taking the spare wheels off and putting a couple of numbers on the side, instant racing car. And a lot of the cars that raced in that era were quick road cars.
Yes, absolutely. There was very little difference. Bugatti notoriously had a works team with 2-3 drivers per Grand Prix, but they were also selling cars, the same car, to privateers who would just come by road, by the way, to the circuit in the car, race it and go home with it. So... Yeah, I know. We can't picture Lewis Hamilton doing that with his Formula One Mercedes, but that's how it raced in those days in the top classes. Yeah.
Now, there are rumours that I'm hoping you can dispel that Montlhéry, this great edifice to motor racing, is steeped in history, could potentially be demolished, and that this year's event is the last one. Or either of these rumours, I mean, rumours are just that, they are rumours that perpetuate and people enjoy spreading them. Can you dispel them at all?
Mostly, yes. The future of the circuit itself is not under threat at the moment. Of course, it has been, and it might be in a long-distant future, but for the moment, there are absolutely no plans to demolish the circuit at all. In fact, it is used for car testing by UTAC, the owners, on a daily basis, and they need it. There's also an enormous amount of money which has been spent on the inside of the ring of the circuit to develop the autonomous cars. So long life to Montlhéry for the moment. On the event itself, we are getting a little bit older and a little bit tired.
Nearly as old as the cars.
Well, almost. At least we do a good impression. And the event has grown enormously in a few years, and there's only 3 of us organising it. And it's a 2-year daily work. So we want to rest. So at the very least, first of all, we'll stick to the method that we've always had. We only decide if we're doing another one when the last one has just finished. So we're on reflection time, and we are doing the post-mortem of the event currently. But the intention is actually to pass it on to younger and maybe richer people. You never know, that might happen. I can dream of me. So to relieve ourselves of the bulk of the work and see how we go. So the event might continue. We're working on it. We're immensely proud of what we've done, and we'd like to see some people who have the same passion to take it over.
Well, by the looks of those involved, both spectators and organisers and drivers, there appears to be no break in the passion to carry on doing it.
No, I think that's what the centenary demonstrated. It was Thierry Farge, who works for Retromobile, who came to me and he said, "You see, those are old pre-war cars. They don't interest anybody. Only the circuit is full of cars, and we've got 6,000 visitors currently in the paddock." So,
and from where I was stood listening, especially when what I call the big bangers, the record breakers were out, the Napier Railton, the record breaking Renaults, the Mercedes, the Hotchkiss and everything else, the cheers that go up when these cars come round, there is no lack of passion for them.
Oh, absolutely. I mentioned the grandstand. When each rolling session was finishing and the guys were doing their cooling down laps, passing in front of the grandstand, people were actually applauding. Yeah, which is extremely rewarding.
And the other thing is, it needs to carry on, because we do need to see Freddie Frott wearing his period white overalls and bowler hat.
It will be my pleasure. I'll try my best.
Anybody who has never been to Montlhéry needs to go. You stand there. It reminds me of Monza. That is another banked track that is no longer in operation. Oh, the circuit is, but the banking isn't, regrettably. But you can feel the history just stood in the place. You look round, and to see this vast banking surrounding you is unbelievable. So, my recommendation is, A, I hope Freddie and the guys carry on, or it carries on in some guys. Get there and absorb the atmosphere. But whatever, it's been a pleasure chatting to the man who took care of the pit lane, the one, the only, Freddie Frott. And thank you very much, Freddie, for joining me here again on the Backseat Driver after a magnificent event at Venus Montlhéry Circuit, or as it used to be called, the Circuit de Paris.
The Circuit de Paris, or le Plateau de Saint-Eutrope, which I think is quite a quaint little name. But anytime, Mark, thank you very
much. Rarely beaten on price, never beaten on service. Whether it's cars, bikes or commercials, Hodder Tyres are the best in the business. And when it comes to tyre expertise and advice to supplying the correct tyres for your vehicle's specific requirements, nobody comes close to David Lakin and the Hodder Tyres team. So give them a call on 01200 613 192 or visit the website at hoddertyres.co.uk.